Welcome to our topic today of partner betrayal trauma. I can almost guarantee you know a woman or a man who has gone through partner betrayal trauma in your family, in your circle of friends, or in your church. Betrayal is so prevalent in our current culture and our churches, and yet almost nobody knows what to do or say when someone goes through this kind of trauma. So often, we just maintain a distance as these wounded people try to put their life and their hearts back together. So what is partner betrayal trauma, Dr. Weiss? Well, let me explain that to you. Partner betrayal trauma is when a spouse does one of these three things to the person they're married to. The first is they can betray the spouse by being involved in a sexual or pornography addiction while being married. And the spouse finds out about this secret activity, and they definitely feel betrayed and hurt and all kinds of feelings when this good Christian guy is all discovered to have a secret alternate life. Secondly, it's when a spouse commits infidelity with another person outside the marriage in any manner. Thirdly, and this will take a little explaining, it is when a spouse experiences intimacy anorexia. We call it the sin of withholding inside the marriage. Intimacy anorexia is when one person withholds spiritual, sexual, and emotional intimacy from their spouse. The characteristics of intimacy anorexia are being too busy for the spouse, blaming the spouse for the problems in the marriage, withholding love from them, withholding spiritually, withholding sexually, or being disconnected, withholding praise, not being able to talk about their feelings, using anger or silence as a way to control the other person, having ongoing or ungrounded criticism of the spouse, and the spouse feels married and alone. Or they say, Dr. Weiss, I feel like a roommate. Now, if you or someone you know has experienced 5 or more of these characteristics we just talked about, they're experiencing intimacy anorexia. And you can Google that term and find more about that on websites there and watch the shows on our website that we've done on the sin of withholding or intimacy anorexia, if that applies to you. Now, in Luke 4, Jesus was reading in the synagogue out of Isaiah 61, declaring his purpose for being here. He read, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted," and he goes on and on. I can tell you that in the 40 years of counseling people, those who experience partner betrayal trauma are the most brokenhearted of all of my clients. You might ask why that would be. So let me illustrate. These women and men are really good-hearted people. I mean, they're really good. They love Jesus with all their heart. They love their spouse with everything they have, spirit, soul, and body. They are incredibly loyal, even in tough times. They love their family, their children, and they have put all their trust in their spouse to keep them safe from sexual sin and neglect. After all, they stood before God and the whole congregation promising to be faithful toward their spouse by forsaking all others and to love, honor, and cherish them. It's like if you can imagine this woman or man leaning all of their weight on their spouse in the most vulnerable position with the person you trust the most, putting your weight on that person. You are most committed to them. And while you're in that vulnerable position, they haul off and they sucker punch you so hard it impacts your being, your spirit, your soul, and your body, and all of your life. The past you've had together gets redefined. The present you're living in is confusing and turbulent, to say the least. And the future is unknown, it's unclear. And all of the relationships that you have are impacted, all at this one moment when this happens. This is trauma. This is getting hit by an 18-wheeler while standing innocently there. Except with this trauma, There's no outward broken bones. There's no gushing blood. And nobody's taking you to the hospital. Here's the way that I have experienced this happening many times with women and men in my office. They come in as a couple to do a 5-day intensive with me, and on Monday, they share the current story. I ask the man to verify that this is all there is by taking a polygraph so they can rebuild trust based on facts, not stories. He agrees, and somewhere he tells the whole truth about the affairs or indiscretions, excessive porn, etc. And when I read the polygraph that verifies all of this, or when he tells her prior to the test, you can almost see this like lightning bolt. It starts at the top of her head and it travels through her entire body, overwhelming her, and she starts to curl up and she starts to convulse and cry and scream like a wild animal, because all of the partner betrayal trauma is experiencing it all at this one moment. It's painful to watch, and I've watched that at least more than 1,000 times. These are the brokenhearted that Jesus has come to minister to. And they are not just in the world. They are in every church in America, every church in the world, especially since research now shows up to 50% of the men are struggling with secret porn life as Christians. And yet most churches have no ministry to these women or men. That's why we are here today, to be their voice and to encourage you, whether this is your story or not your story, to start a partner betrayal trauma group in your church, your home, or with your social media friends. You will be amazed at what a powerful ministry this can be in healing these brokenhearted people and giving them support as they put their hearts and lives back together. So stay with us as we continue this very needed topic in the church. We want you to be equipped to be able to be helpful for these people who are transitioning their lives from a very traumatic and painful event. You could be Jesus to them at that moment.